Lights, camera, action,
Hey
roll 'em.
guys, it's Ron Baz with another edition of the Ron Baz Show, your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor. Mr. Brent Atterbury, what say you, sir?
Top of the day to you.
Top of the day, sir. Getting my notes in order here. That's a tall order for me.
Are they out of order?
You know, when you get old, you lose your height. I lost 2 inches already.
Wow.
Yeah.
The incredible shrinking man.
I read an article where people talked about it before. They actually go in for surgery. They cut the legs, break the bones, and then they add a rod and give them like 2 or 3, 4 more inches of height. It takes like a year to heal.
No.
And they're doing it.
Terrible.
They're waiting in line to do it. So why not just get like shoes that have like lifts on them?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't understand. Maybe if you're like crazy obsessed with sport and you want to be like, you know, a great athlete and you need some more height
No.
sport.
No.
I mean, I could see that maybe.
No.
Wow.
I can't see it at all.
You can't see it all, you said? Where's your glasses?
I'm too short.
That was not such a good comeback.
No.
Okay, I'll take it. Okay, guys. We're gonna have a few stories to go over today, or I'm going to talk about today. Nothing too crazy, but just to make a point and to show some use stories as an example to prove a point. Prove a point. Prove a point.
Point.
I'm not this silly. I'm trying to become a comedian. I was telling Brent about this guy. He's on YouTube and TikTok. He's an old guy, and he made a whole career out of being old. So he was telling these jokes. He said, "Oh yeah, I went to an antique store the other day, and they wouldn't let me leave." I thought that was kind of funny. He said, "Yeah, and they put a spotlight on me, and I went right to the light."
Boom, boom. I'll be here all night. You'll be here all night.
All right, look. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal, Pickle. I've got a person in my life that I worry about because she's got mental problems, she's got medical problems, she's got addiction problems. But make a long story short, I had a nice visit with her the other day, and I sometimes I feel like I'm interrogating people. I'm not really. I'm just inquiring. I'm interested in what makes them tick. Why are they going through the struggles they're going through? And then from those experiences, I like to talk about it on the podcast, right? To make a point, to prove a point, to use that as an example to get my ideas across to you guys. And by the way, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching us on YouTube and listening to us on Spotify. And I think we're like 5 years in now, something like that. So if I live long enough, maybe we'll have 5 more.
You will.
Let's see. We'll see what happens. Right?
You will.
You know, you're not promised. Not promised anything.
No.
That's another thing I notice about people. They're like, everybody gets mad when things don't go their way. It's like, look, guys, there's not like a contract with God that says, hey, everything's going to be wonderful if you do this and do that. Every day is going to be a challenge. You're going to have challenges. You don't know what it's going to be, man.
Mm-hmm.
Money, friendship, family, medical, a gazillion different things could happen every day. And the key is to be strong enough and resilient enough to be able to deal with it initially and then come up with a game plan to figure it out.
That's right.
I told you the last couple times I make a list every day of things that are not good for me or things that I want to improve upon. And then I review the list, I come up with ideas, solutions, and then I act upon that. It's not that complicated, guys. Make a list. Okay. So at any rate, my friend was talking with her, and she's very depressed, very unhappy, has been living on the street more or less for the last 10 or 15 years, got out of prison, I think, when she was like mid-20s. Now she's like maybe 40, give or take, and just not a happy person. And so I was, how did you get here? What happened? Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
You're not mic'd up.
I'm not mic'd up.
No, they can barely hear you.
Okay. Well, let's
They're
mic up.
probably out there going, turn it up. There we go.
Mike will be happy now. We got him.
Yeah.
We got him.
Mike
on.
appreciates
Mike
it.
appreciates that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so bottom line is, I got kind of to the root of the gig. Her mother is basically a drug addict, and she grew up in a situation where the mom was moving from
house to house, apartment to apartment, street, back to a house, man to man. So she was in a foster home when she was like 12 or 13 years old, basically, because the mother had all these problems. I think the state got involved, put her in a foster home, and that was bad. And then she ran away, and then she came back, and then she turned 18 and she ran away again, and just, you know, a bad environment, right?
Right.
So a lot of times, guys, it's not like a fault, it's just circumstances. And remember, you become who you surround yourself with. You become what you think about. Those are laws of psychology. So she, from there, she, as a young woman, she got involved with the wrong kind of men who were doing drugs as well, and it just kept going and going and going. Had children, wound up in prison, because, you know, when you're doing drugs and you don't have money, you're going to probably wind up doing bad things to get the money to get the drugs, and you get the idea. So I asked her, I said, who do you look up to? She said, nobody, and underscored that, nobody. I said, well, who have you looked up to who in your life? Well, I had a friend one time, wow, I'm thinking, and he was blah, 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 but then he did something that, you know, he befriended me and didn't do something right, and I no longer consider him a friend. So, you know, the essence of the meeting I had with the person, in my mind, was that, hey, she's really had very poor influence her whole life. And you have to have good people in your life, guys. You have to find somebody that you can sink your teeth into and believe in, that believes in you, to give you at least some hope. Is it going to solve the problem, all the problems? Probably not. But it's sure going to give you some sense of hope and give you a little bit of encouragement, so you don't just give up and wind up getting even worse, which eventually most drug addicts wind up either what? In the hospital, dead, or in jail. I've got a friend of mine that's a drug addict that just went to jail today, and another friend of mine that's a drug addict that just got out of jail. I'm not saying this to be cute, guys. I'm just saying that I'm telling you these things because it's reality. So when we talk about things, I like to back it up with real facts. When I say to you, hey, if you're struggling with addiction, eventually you're going to wind up probably in hospital, dead, or in jail. And that's what happens. I wish it wasn't that way. I don't want it to be like that. Am I being too much of a Debbie Downer today?
That's pretty heavy stuff, man.
Well, you know me, I like to hit things head on.
Yep.
If Gatorade's listening today, we'd sure like maybe a free case of it. We use a lot of it. It's good stuff when it's hot outside. It's been pretty hot.
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes. Brings me back to life.
Yes.
Good stuff, right?
Yes.
I don't drink as many Cokes as I used to. I drink more Gatorade.
But
it's got sugar in it, too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's not such a good thing.
It's certainly better than soda.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
And then I'm at the gym working out, and it's really hot. And, you know, I'm drinking a Gatorade while I'm working out. But a lot of my friends don't want to work out when it's really hot. Like I noticed in our dojo, in our martial arts school, our numbers are way down this summer. I assume it's too hot. People don't like to train in the heat. Sorry. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Are you
need
using
to be training.
deodorant?
It might be that people aren't using deodorant.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't like the smell.
So back to my friend, you know, all I can do is encourage her to be around good people. And if you can do that, guys, you're at least going to have a better shot at trying to get back to par and move forward with your life. Nothing perfect, but, you know, you got to try. You can't give up for sure. All right. On to the next story. So I had a good friend of mine that went to jail, and I went to the bondsman to bond him out. And the bondsman had some crazy stories to tell me. Now, you got to remember, a bondsman is a guy that has to put up property to go to the court and to guarantee to the court that the bond will be paid if the perpetrator does not show up to court. Right?
Right.
So he was telling me this story. This is crazy. Where one of his customers had got out of jail and then went to the parents' home and was causing a big ruckus, like a real big problem. And so the bondsman, he didn't show up to court. So the bondsman had to go get him, right, or else he was got to pay the bond.
Yeah.
So they go into the house and they get the guy out. It's a big ruckus and all this. Well, he goes to court, and the judge went crazy on the bondsman, basically suggesting, hey, you are a really bad person to go into somebody's house and get this guy out and cause this big ruckus, and the family's upset and this and that and everything. I'm thinking, and he called the bondsman out, like he, like embarrassed him in front of the whole court. And my friend who's a bondsman he's the greatest guy you'd ever want to meet. Salt of the earth, really good guy, very reliable, very professional. And I'm just shaking my head listening to the story. He said, how would you like it if I asked you to pay all the bonds all at one time? And he said, Ron, I've got $6 million out in bonds. He said, you know what? I could cover it. I'm thinking, holy camole, if I have to. But the judge was just trying to be a bully. And I'm thinking, it's a judge. It's a court system. What in the world is going on? Whatever happened to court etiquette? This guy, shouldn't be in that courtroom, is what I'm thinking, right? So, anyway, I thought, well, I say that to say this, guys. You don't know what's coming your way. You could be everything could just be perfect and you're doing everything right. It doesn't mean you're not going to be confronted with some kind of controversy, some kind of a struggle, some kind of a situation that just is not comfortable. But fortunately, in the bondsman's case, he was cool, calm, and collected and got through it, and everything wound up okay in the end. But you don't know, man. You don't know what's going to come your way. You have to learn to manage your uncomfortableness. We talk about that. Be comfortable with your uncomfortableness. I'm not saying you can do it and learn how to do it overnight. It's taken me a lifetime to get to this point. A lot of my friends say to me, I don't know how you deal with all these people that are doing this and doing that. It's like, look, I'm not saying it's comfortable, but I've learned to desensitize to these kinds of struggles and convince myself that, hey, if I don't run away from the problem and I hit it head on, sooner or later the day is going to end. I'm going to be better for it, and the next day I'm going to get back up again and hit it again, and I'm going to be stronger than I was the day before. So welcome struggle in your life. Don't run from struggle, guys. Don't run from it. Welcome it. Embrace it. Deal with it. Find solutions. Struggle with it. Learn to be quiet when people are talking. Let them talk. Let them listen. Like Brent over here. He's probably thinking, this guy is absolutely out of his mind talking to me all this crazy stuff. No, Brent's a great guy. He's a good listener, and that's something that you need to learn how to do too. Learn how to listen. I've got a couple of employees that they don't know how to quit talking. But I've learned just to keep my mouth shut and let them talk. It's like a balloon with air in it. When you let the air out, eventually there's no air left. And that's the way it is with a lot of people. If you just let them talk, they'll eventually get to where they just don't have any more to say. Unless it's me. I just keep going and going and going. No. You get the idea, though, guys. Look, the bottom line is, don't be surprised about anything in life and deal with things, man. Just hit it head on. Don't put your head in the sand. Does that make sense? You ever heard that story about putting your head in the sand? That's an ostrich.
Yes.
I don't know where that came from. Why would they put their head in the sand, by the way?
They think that nobody can see them, and they're safe.
Is that what it is?
They're safe, yeah.
Are you sure that's what it is? You're just making that up.
I'm kind of making it up.
You're kind of making it up. Okay. You're funny. All right. One more little story, then I'll let you tell us some breaking news. So, look, I'm not complaining, but I'm just making a point. There's a situation that I really do not like, and it's about taxes. I understand taxes. You got to pay taxes, right? But look, when you've worked your whole life to own your property, and then the county or the state decides that you have to pay taxes on that property, and then if you don't pay the taxes on that property, guess what they do? They sell your property to pay for the taxes. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's not like you're earning income where you pay income tax. That's like a success. But when you've spent your whole life to pay off something like a home, and then you have to pay taxes on it, who the hell came up with that idea? And then if you don't pay it, they're going to sell your property at an auction? I don't understand that. I think that's got to be one of the worst laws that's ever been passed, in my opinion, ever, about anything. I mean, it's one thing to pay tax at the pump or pay tax on food, but not that's like a great accomplishment to pay for a home. It could take 20 or 30, 40 years to pay for a home, right? And then all of a sudden you got to pay this tax. It's almost like paying rent. And then if you don't pay it, they're going to sell your property to pay the tax. That's crazy to me. So I just wanted to get that point out there, because I have some friends going through that right now, and they don't know what to do. They're going to lose their friggin' home. That's nuts. All right, one last thought. We live on we are on a very busy street in Missouri. Very, very, very busy street, our martial arts school where we do our dojo. And I had a gal come by there that didn't stop to talk to me. She said, because she could see through the windows that we're training, and she wanted to know all about martial arts and this and that. And so bottom line is, she's 43 years old. I said, how did you wind up on the streets? She said, well, I've only been on the streets for 5 years. So I thought, wow. She was 38 years old before she, let's just say, got out of normal living. Her husband did this and her husband did that, and she went through a big heartache, and she's got a 20-year-old kid and a 25-year-old kid. So she left her husband, and I guess it just blew her mind to the point where she just said, screw everything, and literally quit her job and just went on the streets. And if you saw her, you wouldn't recognize that she was a street person, because she's very well kept, very attractive, clean, neat. I don't really know how she's making a living, but kind of have my ideas. And I said to myself, wow, it just goes to show you guys, no matter who you are, where you're at, what's going on in your life, anything can happen to change your life in a very radical, dramatic way. And you're going to meet people that are like this. The key is to encourage people, try to help people as best you can. We talked about it on the last podcast. I'm not saying you got to, house them or give them money to, maybe some money to eat, but at least to be kind to them, be interested in their story, and try to mentor them a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. So I just wanted to bring that up because that was just a couple of days ago. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what kind of situation you're going to put yourself into or get into, and it's just cool to be able to help people. And you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself. First thing you got to do is make sure that your life's in order as best you can, or you can't help anybody. You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. If you're not happy with yourself, man, you got to work on that. You got to figure it out. You got to improve your life. I'm not saying you can do it overnight, but you got to take the steps to get there so that you can be a leader and help other people who are in the same spot you were in, help them to come along a little bit. Okay, I'll shut up and let Mr. Humorist over here talk. Mr. Comedian.
Well,
Mr. Dry Humor.
This isn't funny, but it's odd.
Okay. Well, we like odd too.
Okay.
We're comfortable with odd.
So I know everybody uses different types of toothpaste when you brush your teeth. You have a favorite, or you have one that you've used for years.
That is if you brush your teeth.
That's true.
I have some friends that don't brush their teeth. I have some friends that don't have any teeth.
Well,
I have a lot of friends.
Well, they don't have to brush them if they don't have teeth.
You're supposed to brush your gums, I think.
Okay, but
it's sad.
A study done in London.
Okay.
Just released their findings that toothpaste made out of hair could be on the shelves in 2 years.
Made out of hair?
Scientists say it's the secret to stopping tooth decay. And they said the research identified a substance that can protect against decay and repair early stage of damage to the hair better than, or early stage of damage of the teeth, better than fluoride. And they said what it is, it's keratin. It says it forms a dense mineral coating that mimics the structure of the function of natural enamel, protecting teeth and potentially sealing exposed nerve channels that cause sensitivity. So they're basically saying it won't necessarily be hair, but it'll be stuff that is in the hair that grind up, or they make putting it into that paste form. But
so how do they get the hair to make the product? They have to buy people's hair?
I don't know how they did that.
They go to like hair salons and buy the hair that's on the floor? Or?
I'm
trying to be funny.
Channel the power of keratin to a daily toothpaste. I guess that's what they're working on now.
Okay.
Applied to a gel that can target problem areas. So
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting.
Well, that's very interesting. Very odd.
Odd, interesting.
Odd, interesting.
So, and today is an amazing day that everyone should celebrate.
Okay.
It is National Bacon Lovers Day.
Ooh, we like bacon.
Everything tastes better with bacon,
Yes.
even toothpaste.
Speaking of bacon, I bought a really delicious bacon and egg dish the other night. Put it in the microwave. Man, it was a Jimmy Dean brand.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, Jimmy Dean was a singer back in the day. He was a country artist.
Wow.
Yeah. And he eventually got involved in business, and of course, they used his name, and however that works, they get a fee for that, I suspect.
Yeah.
And now it's like a big food company.
Yeah.
They make
Yeah.
all kinds of food products.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dean.
Yeah. It's also National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day.
Oh my God.
Woo!
National Chocolate Pecan. I don't know about chocolate. I like
chocolate
pecan pie.
I've never had that.
I
I've
like
had pecan pie.
Yeah, I like that.
But I've never had chocolate pecan pie.
Man.
I think we need to go try some.
I'll try anything.
Okay.
Once.
And I was going to mention this, but it's kind of a sad thing, but it is also National Radio Day. But radio is becoming more and more obsolete.
Because?
Because of technology and the internet.
Because of the internet.
Yes.
It's always the internet. The internet gets a lot of hate when it comes to change and
Credit also.
A lot of credit.
But hate too, because it is causing the demise of
radio.
Of radio.
But there's always got to be local radio.
Not always. They
What
claim
would take the place of local radio?
They claim, well, it depends on what you're talking about.
News, weather, sports.
Okay, now that is the only reason why it will survive, because you can get your entertainment and your music.
Yeah.
It's just like television, broadcast television. You can get all kinds of entertainment, other sources through digital resources on the internet.
Right.
But what's keeping them going is the local news and weather. Yeah.
And isn't that going to always be the case?
We'll see, because
What could take the place of that?
the internet. Because now people,
Oh.
well, for example, our local television station, KY3, has an app.
Yeah, I saw
you can
that.
go on and you can see what the weather's going to be for the next 10 days and not even
So
listen
people
to
go to
the
their computer,
weather.
but technically it's still the company.
It is the company.
creating
So
revenue.
they're getting the information out through the internet because people are wanting that.
Because they're watching their phone and their computer. They're not watching a tube television screen.
Correct. Now,
Well,
people
this
are
becomes
still-
the television screen.
People are still watching their televisions in their homes, but it's becoming more and more digital landscape than it is over-the-air free, like it used to be.
All right, sir. Well, I think we bored everybody enough, don't you think?
Yes.
So we'll get out of here, and we'll close by just saying, just remember, if you don't give up, eventually those stars are going to line up. And that's pretty cool stuff, man. If you just don't give up, the stars are going to line up. People give up too easy, It's easy to give up hope when you're feeling low and things are going really bad, but you can't do that. Stay the course. Keep your head up. Don't give up. Keep working towards the goals, man. And you'll be surprised someday just how far you'll get if you don't throw in the towel. Throw in the towel, I think that's an old saying where you, or at a boxing match, the corner would throw in the towel and say, basically, we quit, we give up.
You don't do that after a shower because then you're naked.
All right, guys, up until next time, just remember to always keep your head up and stay positive.